Good morning, my dear young minds. Heartily welcome to biology class. How are you all? Welcome back to biology session. In previous class, we have discussed uh, factors affecting photosynthesis. That chapter was completed. Today, we are going to start new chapter: respiration in plants. Respiration in plants. Respiration in plants. First, what is respiration? Respiration means the process of breakdown of food material in presence of oxygen at cellular level by releasing more amount of energy in the form of ATP is known as respiration. So once I repeat, respiration is food oxidation process. The process of breakdown of food material and react with the oxygen, release more amount of energy in the form of ATP is known as respiration. Basically, respiration is one of the important life processes. All organisms respire, but respiration are of various kinds. Based on requirement of oxygen or not, respiration are of two kinds: aerobic respiration, anaerobic respiration. Aerobic respiration occurs in presence of oxygen, whereas anaerobic respiration takes place without oxygen. Aerobic respiration is quite common in majority of organisms: lower living plants, higher living plants, lower living animals and higher living animals. While anaerobic respiration occurs in some microbes such as archaebacteria, eubacteria, mycoplasma, etc. Right? On the other hand, based on another criteria, respiration are of two kinds: external respiration and internal respiration. Respiration types: external respiration, and internal respiration. Based on the location, respiration again are of two kinds: external respiration and internal respiration. First, external respiration. External respiration defined as respiration which occurs between nostrils and lungs. That is what? Breathing, exchange of gases. Exchange of gases takes place between nostril and lungs. It is technically referred to as external respiration. And the second one, internal respiration. Internal means inside. That is what? Exchange of gases takes place between lungs and tissues. Lungs and tissues is known as internal respiration. Hence, the criteria of classification of respiration again various kinds. Clear? First, to go through external respiration. In external respiration, exchange of gases, that means breathing, takes place through several respiratory organs. You might have studied in zoology. Yes or no? First, nostrils, nasal cavity, internal nares, trachea, tracheoles, alveolus, etc. But in case of plants, these many types of respiratory organs are absent. That means plants respire unlike animals. Unlike animals, in plants there are two types of natural openings called stomata and lenticels. Through stomata and lenticels, plant performs breathing. Do plants breathe? Yes, plants also breathe. What is breathing? Exchange of gases. Like animals, plant also performs exchange of gases. During photosynthesis, plant pick up carbon dioxide and liberates oxygen. While in respiration, reverse. Plant pick up oxygen and liberate carbon dioxide. That means what? Exchange of gases also common aspect even in plants like animals. But unlike animals, plant have just limited mechanism, a simple mechanism for exchange of gases, that is lenticels and stomata. What is the site of stomata? What is the site of lenticel? You know very well. Yes or no? The site of stomata on either sides of the leaf. On either sides of the leaf. Whereas the site of lenticel on the surface of the stems and roots. Hence, both stomata and lenticel together play a crucial role in exchange of gases. In such a way, breathing occur in plants. The second step, internal respiration. It is very important. Present our chapter, respiration in plants. It is interlinked with internal respiration, also called cellular respiration. What do you call? Cellular respiration. Cellular respiration, important. Cellular means cell. Respiration, that means the process of oxidation of food material with oxygen within the cell. Due to breakdown of food material, food release more energy in the form of ATP. But no organism directly utilize energy. Whatever energy liberated during food oxidation, the total energy convert into ATP. ATP stands for adenosine triphosphate. Adenosine triphosphate. ATP also known as energy currency. In previous lessons you might have studied what is ATP, what is NADPH and all. Clear? So after breakdown of food material, more energy liberated. The total energy convert into ATP, then ATP temporarily stored in matrix of mitochondria. That is the reason mitochondria also known as powerhouse of this cell. That you know very well. You might have studied this concept in previous lesson, cell the unit of life. Clear? Understood? Okay. It is just a brief introduction. What is respiration? Types of respiration, importance of respiration and all. Clear? Respiration requires energy. Before that, our body is made up of several life processes, body functions like transportation, body movement, locomotion, digestion, reproduction, exocrine system, endocrine system, nervous system. These all systems require energy, and from where these systems gets energy means by eating food. That food particles act as respiratory substrate. Respiratory substrates such as proteins, fats, carbohydrates, organic acids, other organic acids, etc. Respiratory substrate meaning important. Substrate means compound, a chemical compound which involved in respiration process. Once I repeat, a chemical compound which involved in respiration process is known as respiratory substrates. Example: proteins, fats, carbohydrates and organic acids. These are all complex food particles. As all of you know, you might have studied in zoology and botany. Complex proteins break down into simple amino acids. Complex fats or lipids break down into simple fatty acids and glycerols. Similarly, complex carbohydrates break down into simple sugars such as glucose, fructose, etc. Organic acids, even other complex organic acids also break down into their respective simple monomers. Clear? Therefore, this all chemical compounds acts as respiratory substrates. These substrates undergo respiration, react with oxygen and release more energy. That energy trapped in the form of ATP, adenosine triphosphate. Then ATP temporarily stored in matrix of mitochondria. Hence, mitochondria also called powerhouse of the cell. Mitochondria release energy for all regular metabolic activities. By taking energy from mitochondria, all cells, tissues, organs, organ systems, finally the total body, total organism perform their regular metabolic activities, regular body functions, regular body or life processes such as digestion, transportation, locomotion, respiration, exocrine system, endocrine system, clear, nervous system, reproductive system. These all systems perform their regular functions by taking energy from respiration. Hope you understood. Clear. Next, organisms broadly are of three kinds: herbivores, omnivores and carnivores. Herbivores, omnivores and carnivores. You might have studied these terms, this terminology, meaning of this terminology at lower classes, class 9th, 10th, etc. Herbivores means an organism which depend on several plant parts for food is known as herbivores. Example, all cattle, cow, sheep, goat, rabbit, elephant, etc. Omnivores. Omnivore means an organism which depend on both plants and animals for food is known as omnivore. Some examples: man, crow, etc. Carnivores. An organism which depend on only flesh, means meat, non-veg items, is known as carnivore. Example, wild animals, lion, tiger, fox, cheetah, etc. All organisms from where they obtain energy from food. Clear? And these organisms from where they obtain food from plants, because life forms are of two kinds: autotrophs, heterotrophs. Autotrophs example, plants and some microscopic organisms, some photosynthetic microscopic organisms. Clear? That means algae, bryophytes, pteridophytes, gymnosperms, angiosperms, all plants, plus cyanobacteria such as nostoc, anabaena, oscillatoria. Okay, these types of cyanobacteria members, and some bacteria such as purple sulfur bacteria, green sulfur bacteria. These types of microscopic organisms also perform photosynthesis. In such a way, they prepare their own food by themselves. Hence, all plants and some microbes are autotrophs, except those organisms. The rest of the all organisms are known as heterotrophs because they depend on plants directly or indirectly for food, feeding. Hence, they were known as heterotrophs. Clear? And one more type life forms are called saprophytes. Saprophytes example, fungus. Saprophytes mostly depend on dead and decaying organic matter. Slowly move towards organic matter, release some digestive enzymes on organic matter and digest them. After completion of digestion, digested food pick up through their body surface. Such type of food collection is known as saprophytism. Organisms which perform saprophytism are called saprophytes. Best example, fungus. Clear? You might have studied about fungus, kingdom fungi, different types of classifications in kingdom fungi. That whole topic was already finished in previous chapter, that is biological classification. Clear? So herbivores depend on plants, omnivores depend on both the plants and animals for feeding, whereas carnivores depend on only animals. Clear? When we discuss about predators, means autotrophs. Autotrophs depend on several internal and external factors for the preparation of food. In previous chapter, photosynthesis, there you might have studied what are internal factors and what are external factors. Okay, so by taking external and internal factors, plant prepare food in the form of glucose. Later, glucose convert into sucrose. Glucose converts into sucrose. Later, sucrose accumulate into starch. Then starch temporarily store in stroma of the chloroplast. Later, through phloem sieve tubes, starch transfer to all parts of the plant body. While transporting, starch converts into sucrose. In the form of sucrose, food material transfer to all parts of the plant. That means from source to sink. Source means leaf. Sink in the sense other storage part of the plant. That is about autotrophs. In such a way, all autotrophs prepare their own food by themselves. Next, through food chain, terrestrial food chain, aquatic food chain, forest food chain, mountain food chain, through any type of food chain, energy transfer from one tropic level to rest of the tropic levels. Clear? Right. That is briefly about herbivores, omnivores and carnivores. Next, when we discuss about respiration, it is an important process, important life process. Without respiration, no organism liberate energy. Without energy, no organism perform their regular metabolic activities. For the maintenance of regular metabolic activities, energy is required. Clear? In case of plants, majority of plant cells mostly located towards superficial, means superficial layers of the plant body. Take an example, leaf. In leaf, mesophyll cells located superficial. That means mesophyll cells make almost direct contact with the surrounding atmosphere. So it is very easy for exchange of gases through stomata. Exchange of gases takes place by stomata between surrounding atmosphere and leaf cells, that is called mesophyll tissue. In case of stem, some cells, not all cells, some cells make direct contact with the surrounding atmosphere. Example, epidermal cells, bark cells. These cells make direct contact with the surrounding atmosphere. Hence, there is chance exchange of gases takes place between atmosphere and epidermal cells through lenticels. Because I told lenticels present on the surface of the stems and on the surface of the roots. Clear? Next, when we think about center core of the stem is filled with complex tissues such as xylem tissues and phloem tissues. You know very well xylem tissues, xylem elements, phloem tissues, phloem elements, their function, structure. Clearly, with neat label diagrams we have discussed in earlier chapters. So, in xylem fibers, vessels, tracheids are dead. Xylem parenchyma only living tissue. In case of phloem tissue, phloem fibers are dead. Except phloem fibers, rest of the all are living tissues. For dead tissues, we no need to supply any energy. But living tissues, they require energy. They require oxygen. That's why all living tissues make direct contact with plasma-desmatal connections. I show here. This is plasma desmata. plasmodesmata. So due to presence of plasmodesmata, it enables exchange of gases, exchange of air, water, minerals, nutrients, everything takes place between adjacent cells. That is the importance of plasmodesmata. Clear? This topic already covered in previous chapter, that is anatomy of flowering plants. Clear? So due to this reason, all cells are closely packed with a small intercellular space. That space is conspicuous or inconspicuous. Due to presence of plasmodesmata connections, it enables exchange of gases between cells. Due to this region, exchange of gases easily takes place between cells or between tissues or between organs, etc., or organ systems, etc. Therefore, plant body, it never require special respiratory organs for exchange of gases. Hence, unlike animals, plant very simply in an easy manner supply, that means exchange of gases easily takes place between cells or tissues, organs, organ systems by diffusion process. What is diffusion? Diffusion means the process of exchange of gases takes place from the region of higher concentration to the region of lower concentration. From the region of higher concentration to the region of lower concentration along concentration gradient. Along concentration gradient is technically termed as diffusion. So diffusion is quite common in gases. Next, plants, it never show any great demand for exchange of gases, because in a plant body like root, stem and leaf, all tissues closely packed, and all tissues make direct contact with plasmodesmatal connections. Due to this reason, exchange of gases easily takes place between tissues or cells. That is the reason plant body, it never require any special respiratory organs for exchange of gases. That is the difference between animals and plants. Clear? Okay. These are all general points, basic points regarding respiration. Clear? Eukaryotes and prokaryotes. Eukaryotes, prokaryotes. You might have studied eukaryotes and prokaryotes in previous chapter, biological classification. Eukaryotes example, plants, that means lower living plants, higher living plants, lower living animals, higher living animals, except kingdom Monera members. Means an organism or a cell with a specific nuclear membrane around nuclear material. A cell with a specific nuclear membrane, nuclear envelope around nuclear material is known as eukaryotic cell. Prokaryotic cell means a cell without a specific nuclear membrane around a nuclear material is known as prokaryotic cell. Prokaryotes best example, all kingdom Monera members, Archaebacteria, Eubacteria, Mycoplasma, Actinomycetes, okay, and blue-green algae members. These are all prokaryotes because they doesn't have any specific nuclear membrane around nuclear material. Clear? In case of eukaryotes, what is the site of respiration? Means mitochondria. Both cytoplasm and mitochondria. In case of prokaryotes, what is the site of respiration? Means cytoplasm and mesosomes. Mesosomes. Difference between eu and prokaryotes. In case of eukaryotes, the site of respiration is cytoplasm and mitochondria. In case of prokaryotes, the site of respiration is cytoplasm and mesosomes. What is mesosome? If you observe the structure of bacteria, it makes a large number of inward foldings. It makes large number of inward foldings inside the cytoplasm. Suppose, see with here, bacteria cell. Outer wall, cell wall, inner wall is cell membrane. Cell membrane make large number of inward foldings. Such foldings are called mesosomes. So the site of cytoplasm, the site of respiration is mostly cytoplasm and mesosomes. Cytoplasm and mesosomes. In case of eukaryotes, both the cytoplasm and mitochondria. Mitochondria and rest of the all other cell organelles are absent in prokaryotes. Due to this reason, the site of respiration is just cytoplasm and mesosomes. Clear? Just now I told respiration are of two kinds, aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. In aerobic respiration, complete oxidation of food material. Complete oxidation of food material takes place. Therefore, more energy liberated. In case of anaerobic respiration, partial oxidation. That means the food particles partially break down and it releases very less amount of energy. That is the main difference between anaerobic respiration and aerobic respiration. Clear? When we think about aerobic respiration, it includes 4 steps. Glycolysis, link reaction, Krebs cycle and electron transport system. Okay? Steps. First, glycolysis, link reaction, Krebs cycle, and ETS, electron transport system. Out of 4 steps, first step is glycolysis. It is common step in eu and prokaryotes. It is common step in all organisms. Hence, the site of glycolysis is cytoplasm. Clear? The site of glycolysis is cytoplasm. And the site of link reaction, Krebs cycle is mitochondria, matrix of mitochondria. What is the site of electron transport system? Means inner membrane of mitochondria. That is called cristae. Inner membrane of mitochondria also called cristae. Clear? These are the 4 important steps involved in aerobic respiration. When we think about prokaryotes, all steps takes place within the cytoplasm. Within the cytoplasm. But electron transport system takes place in mesosomes. Mesosomes. These are some difference between eukaryotes and prokaryotes. Clear? Just now I told, do plants breathe? Do plants breathe? Do plants breathe? And do plants eat? Do plants eat? Do microorganisms eat? Do animals perform respiration? These are all different questions, wonderful questions. When we think these types of questions, sometimes we also get confusion. But you no need to confuse. Do plants breathe? Yes, plants also breathe. Plants also perform breathing. Because exchange of gases takes place between atmosphere and plant tissues. How? Through stomata or lenticels. Through stomata or lenticels. The site of stomata, leaf, on either sides of the leaf, while the site of lenticel on the surface of the stems and on the surface of the roots. Root example, mangrove plants, aerial roots, respiratory roots, breathing roots. Understood now? Mangrove plants example, Rhizophora and Avicennia. Rhizophora and Avicennia. This topic already covered in previous chapter, morphology of flowering plants. Hence, plants also performs breathing like animals. Like animals. Clear? Next. This is just an introduction about respiration. What is respiration? Importance of respiration. What are the steps involved in respiration and all. Clear? Now discuss what is the difference between respiration and combustion. Difference between respiration and combustion. Combustion. As all of you know, respiration means oxidation of food material. Food oxidation. Oxidation of food material or breakdown of food material takes place at cell level that releasing production of more amount of energy in the form of ATP is known as respiration. Combustion means it is a type of burning process, firing process. Clear? Respiration occurs in living cells. Whereas combustion occur in outer side of the cell. Means doesn't require cell. Next, in respiration, energy liberated with regular intervals. Energy produced slowly and stepwise manner. In case of combustion, energy released with a single step. Energy released in a single step. One more difference. In respiration, energy stored in the form of ATP, adenosine triphosphate. In combustion, ATP not formed. Respiration, it requires less temperature. Whereas combustion requires high temperature. Clear? In respiration, several intermediates several intermediates are formed. In combustion, no intermediates. No intermediates are formed. These are some difference between respiration and combustion, but both are burning process. Both processes require oxygen. Clear? In respiration, what happened? Food particles react with oxygen, burn with oxygen, and liberate energy by breaking down of carbon-carbon bond. By breaking down of carbon-carbon bond, it releases more energy. Similarly, combustion also requires oxygen. It is a burning process, firing process. Best example, take one foil, one tin foil, collect 1 teaspoon of sugar, place on tin foil, and apply fire. Means tin foil place on burning candle. So after some time period, what happened? Sugar get heat, it gets heat, melt and turn into water. Okay, and some other examples, mechanical means automobile engines. Automobile engine is the best example for combustion. Clear? Okay, respiration occur in living cells, only living cells, whereas combustion doesn't require any living cells. It doesn't require any living cell. Clear? It doesn't require any living cells because it occurs outer side of the cell. Next, respiration energy produced slowly, stepwise manner. Stepwise manner important. Slowly and stepwise manner, because respiration include how many steps? How many steps? 4 steps. What is first step? Glycolysis. Second step, link reaction. Third step, Krebs cycle. Fourth step, ETS, electron transport system. So in each step, some amount of energy liberated. Therefore, energy liberated in several steps in a slower manner. Whereas in combustion, all energy at a time release in a single step. In a single step, because it is burning process, firing process. Hence, all energy at a time liberated. Next, third difference, energy stored in the form of ATP. I told, one glucose molecule undergo respiration that yields 40 ATPs. Total 40 ATPs. Out of 40 ATPs, 2 ATPs utilized in glycolysis. The net gain of total ATP are 38 ATPs. That means one glucose molecule synthesizes 38 ATPs. We'll discuss step by step all these things in coming classes. Clear? So energy stored in the form of ATP. In the form of ATP. In combustion, ATP not formed because energy directly liberate into surroundings in the form of heat. Energy directly liberate into surroundings in the form of heat. So ATP is not formed. Less temperature required. Respiration require very less temperature, whereas combustion require high temperature because it is burning process, firing process. Hence it require high temperature, more than 90 degrees Celsius temperature. Next, several intermediates are formed in respiration because, take an example, glycolysis. Glycolysis include 10 steps. Okay, 10 steps produce 10 intermediates. Next, link reaction. Link reaction also produce acetyl coenzyme A. Then Krebs cycle. Third step is Krebs cycle. Krebs cycle include 10 chemical reactions. All 10 chemical reactions produce 10 steps and 10 intermediates. And ETS, electron transport system, also produce a large number of intermediates. So in respiration, several intermediates are formed. whereas in combustion no intermediates are formed. Some difference between simple difference between respiration and combustion. To try to practice this box point, important, clear. Right. Today we have discussed what is respiration, introduction of respiration. Okay, different types of respiration, external respiration, internal respiration, clear, aerobic respiration, anaerobic respiration, with the fundamental points, basic points. In coming class we will discuss in detail. In coming lessons we will discuss in detail about what is the difference between aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration, clear, and how plants and animals do breathe, do plants breathe, difference between respiration and combustion. These all points to be covered, clear. Today I stop here. Rest of the part let me continue in next video. My suggestion, watch this video properly. After completion of watching video, immediately go through NCERT, read NCERT lines thoroughly, because final NEET exam questions coming from NCERT lines. That you fix in brain, don't forget. Understood now? Immediately go through assignments. Clear? Thank you very much. Bye, see you, and prepare well.